The following podcast may be explicit. Shedcast presents Adventures from the Shed, a tabletop RPG podcast. You can find us online at adventuresfromtheshed.com. Welcome back to Part 1, Session 3 of the Dungeons & Dragons Starter Set. I'm Joe, along with Mike, Kurt, JJ, and Mickey. We bring our heroes, Sir Moss, Thor, Ferris, and Bree, further into the Cragmaw hideout. Enjoy the podcast.
All right, so Clark then looks at his two goblin guards there. I want to give them names Huey and Dewey, and whatever. I'm not
I
going
like
to.
that.
He said he slaps one of them on the back, pushing him forward, and he says, "Finish them, kill them, make Clark happy. Clark will build a throne from their bones."
I don't think you'd be able to fit in that throne.
I love the banter.
All right, so now let's switch Clark and the goblins, please. So the goblins are going to move forward, one each at Thor and Sir Walter. We're going to go at Thor first with goblin number 1. An 8 is going to miss. And 6 is going to miss.
Yep.
Sir Walter Moss. So these goblins, when they move forward, they're like grumbly. When they're up in front of you, feebly swinging at you with their scimitars, they're pretty much saying, "We don't like Clark. I'll kill you anyway." Who's after? Oh, what was Clark? Now goblins. Who's
Now
next?
me.
All right, Ferris.
Come on, wizard.
And you're down at the bottom?
Yep. I will attempt to start climbing.
Do you have a spell that works from down there?
No, I don't.
Magic missile?
Nope. Gotta be able to see him.
Horrible.
Natural 20.
All right.
Very nice. What were you doing?
So
Climb up
I'm
there
going
like
to-
I'm a climbing.
I'm going to, on a natural 20, because I like to break the rules, I'm going to let you get to the top. Woohoo! All right. Now that's gonna be your whole turn, but you're going to get up to the top.
That was easier than I thought it was going to be.
Yeah. You just watched her scrambling, but you could put your hand right
Especially
there.
because Thor is like right at the top of the thing.
Yes.
And he somehow gets around Thor and pops
So-
out the top.
Who is then after Ferris?
Excellent. All right, it's
Clark.
Clark is.
Okay.
Clark's-
So he is now last.
Jumping
Okay.
the gun.
And then you, and then you. Clark on a 3, you on a 2, you on a 1.
But Clark wants to build a throne with my bones.
He does, with
I
all
don't
of your
like this.
bones. That's funny. They give a couple of good description for him. That just made me chuckle. All right. So he steps forward towards Sir Walter, and he says, "Clark will crush you, human. But Clark not do it this
Clark, don't
time."
do it now.
Clark's thinking about
That
it.
was a
He
warning
sure
shot.
is. Yeah, 7 is not going to hit a 3 plus 4. All right, let's go back to the top of the
Back
order.
to Thor's turn?
No. Yeah.
That would be Ripper.
Thor and.
Thor was ahead
This is
of
the
Ripper?
bottom. This is the bottom. Clark's on a 3, he's on a 2,
Oh,
he's
I'm
on a
sorry.
1.
All right, I thought we were going to the top. My mistake. Go
No,
ahead.
not yet.
Yeah. We still have the party to go.
Uh-huh.
Thor is incredibly tempted to simply jump down the fissure to the bottom, take the damage, and run.
Or not run.
Very
Drop.
seriously
Very
tempted
manly.
to do that. But he thinks about his cousins, Gundren, Thardan, and Nundro Rockseeker, particularly his cousin Gundren, who is probably
Owes him
being
money.
tortured by Clark and his
Very
wolves.
well. Could be.
And while everything in his being says jump, he instead puts his hand in his pocket on his holy symbol and tries to cast for the first time on this adventure Guiding Bolt, which has a range of 120 feet. If successful, a flash of light will streak towards a creature of my choice, which would be Clark, since he's directing the action. I make a ranged spell attack. Oh, my Lord in heaven, I rolled a 1. I just busted one of my 2 nuts for the day on a 1.
Wait, do you have... So...
This is such a great spell. It does 4 times 6 radiant damage and gives the next attacker advantage. And I rolled a 1.
You
Would
can't
have
reroll?
been awesome.
Does anyone have a reroll to give me?
Brave. I could pray for you.
So
I'm tempted to look up and curse my deity, but then I remember that I'm not sure that the gods even exist.
right, and that's
And
part
simply
of the problem
bite my
perhaps.
tongue.
Right. I'm going to call upon the power of something I'm not sure.
Oh man, I was
exists.
excited for that spell.
All
A
right.
1. All
Are
right.
we now down to the very last
Yes. And I
batter?
will.
So you have the wolf Ripper,
Uh-huh.
as well as Clark and a goblin in front of you.
And a partridge and a pear tree.
They're positioning themselves so they can surround you, but they're not there yet.
I'm going to try to hack Clark's legs out from under him.
Is there an actual trip or anything like that here, or knock prone?
If there's a skill, I do not have it.
Okay.
But if
So in
you
this
wanna
case,
say,
you're just going to reduce his hit points if you hit him. Then we'll see how it goes.
Yeah, in the basic edition, there's not that skill.
Okay.
yet.
we have 23
23 will hit Clark.
for
Jesus.
14 damage.
14 damage.
Sir Walter, I don't like goblin guts, but I rock the damage roll moss.
Well,
Yes.
this is bugbear guts now. You're gonna get
This
some
bugbear gut.
bugbear
Still
blood.
got
on
it
it.
on
So
a
your-
leg.
your
I just
prior
hacked
roll
that
is
leg.
fire.
You hit him, yeah, right in the side of the leg. It sounds like you may have broken his leg bone, and it's a pretty dastardly hit. And you got now bugbear blood covering the goblin guts, and
Well, I washed the goblin guts off, so
You're gonna need
it's
a new
like
suit.
fresh. But but man, I'm not enjoying that.
yeah, he
You're
says,
going to need a new
he says,
suit.
human hurt, Clark. What's my name?
Clark.
Woof. How many handy wipes does 10 gold pieces buy?
Not enough.
It may not be enough, but it is a lot. All right, so who's up at the top then?
Wolf.
Are we at the goblins?
Wolf.
Oh, the wolf, Ripper.
I'm going to hope that all the people surrounding me are just going to miss.
Yeah. So, within combat, can you kind of move without leaving range to flank, surround, what have you, and then still attack without provoking anything?
And you can actually move, attack, and continue to move as long as you're within your 30 feet or
Cool.
25 feet.
All right,
believe.
so Ripper is all right. So Ripper is going to move around to your to behind you to bite your rear end, and
Bite him in
he
the
has
butt.
advantage. The 14's better. 14 plus 4 is 18.
Barely
Why
hits
does he have
me.
advantage? I'm just curious.
It's one of the things. It's very similar to the rogue sneak attack. He has an ability called Pack Tactics. As long as one of his allies is nearby, he gets advantage on his attack.
Gotcha.
So he's going to do that, and it is 2d4 plus 2. 4. 6 plus 2 is 8.
0 hit points. You're fine still.
I'm at
you're not
0.
down. You're not down to your negative.
Okay. You must now succeed on a DC 11 strength saving throw or be knocked prone.
Okay,
So he got behind you, pounced on your back to bite at you, and
I succeed.
tried to knock you over, but
You're
it
the
did
man,
not.
Sir Walter.
Yes.
You're the man.
Well, I'm struggling here.
All right.
I need a
Miss
help.
Rogue.
Yeah, they didn't leave out the deadly.
Although if I can survive to my turn, I have second wind. But I don't think I'm going to survive to my turn.
Oh, I'm going to draw aggro.
Is it to cast an AoE? Piss off everybody.
Piss off everyone.
There you go.
So is there any, like, she's already tried to crawl up again.
You just gotta
She
try
failed.
again.
There's no other way to get up there.
Well, not without
I mean,
going through the cave.
Yeah,
say,
you
there's
have to
a
go the whole way through the
9.
Yeah,
cave.
you guys are crawling up the garbage chute.
9.
So a 6 to 9 was. Let
I
me
feel like
look
the
at
garbage
that.
chute should have been a way to sneak up. and
It's
kick some
strength,
butt,
right?
But it
Yeah.
totally
Strength or
backfired on
athletics?
us.
Yeah.
Probably
It's
because of my
strength
leg.
It's like we
Athletics, yeah.
we snuck into the boss battle
All right, so
without taking out any of the little peons.
you don't make it anywhere.
Yeah,
Same
no,
thing
no,
again.
she's
But
still
you don't
kinda-
flail around this time.
You know what? I'm just going to hang out here and make sure that no one's coming up the
You
rear.
guys, let me know if you need help.
Let me know if you need anything.
Maybe we should just kick a villain down there so she got
You know,
something
that's
to
a
do.
good point. You guys haven't done that yet.
I'll
All
hold
right,
down.
who's
I'll
after-
hold down the fort.
Who's after Bree?
Me.
All right, Ferris, what you doing?
Is there a way that I can maximize my 15-foot cone?
Can it not hurt allies, or does it not hurt allies?
It needs to not hurt allies.
Right now, he's surrounded, so you could hit 2 out of the 3. And then there's 1 goblin on him, and that's the 4th thing, because you have Clark, Ripper, and 2 goblins. So you could hit 2 out of the 4. I'll let you pick the 2. Because right now he's surrounded. There's no way to hit all 3 of him that are on him, and he is off a little bit. Not far, but off enough that trying to line him up without touching your allies. If this is not ally friendly, you can hit 2 of them, your choice. I'll let you pick that.
And Clark is already damaged.
Yeah.
That wolf really.
Yeah, I'll try to hit the goblin and Clark at the same time.
Okay, one of the goblins and Clark.
Yeah.
All right.
They need to make dexterity saving throws.
All right, we'll start with the goblin, who has a 10 plus. Let me find goblin again here. 10 plus 2 is 12.
Fail.
And Clark, he's going to fail. That's a 4 plus 2 is 6. So they both fail.
So you're 5 points of damage to both of them.
5 damage.
What was the spell?
To minus
Burning hands.
Burning hands.
2. So we're going to say you hit goblin number 1. Yeah, because there's 1 and 2. And because you went after Clark, it's going to be the goblin that's with Moss. I got that and that. Okay. Who's up next? They are both hit. Now, what is the spell you cast?
Burning hands.
Is Burning Hands. Okay, so they both hurt a little bit with
Yeah.
some heat. Got
Yeah. 3 dice 6. I roll a 1, a 2, and a 2.
So just because I like to know, what does that look like?
it. Put your microphone up.
You hear me now?
No, put it closer.
Closer to your mouth. There you go.
As you hold your hands with thumbs touching and fingers spread, a thin sheet of flame shoot forth from your outstretched fingertips.
Very cool. And it's a 15-foot cone. Anything in the cone, right?
Yep.
Now, as a curiosity, I know in the playtest there were things a wizard could take later on, like feats, that you were able to not affect allies with a spell like that.
That's actually my level 2 ability.
So you do get it. Okay. So that could be real helpful. Not too far from now.
In the future.
Yeah. All right. So who's up after
Goblin.
Ferris? The goblins.
I may have to heal you to get you back in.
All right. So Goblin, we're going to go with Sir Walter first. Goblin 1, who is
Fail.
He is. I mean, he's flanking because you were surrounded. However, he just rolled a 1, straight up failure. Goblin 2 is with Thor, and that's going to hit. That's a 17 plus 4 is 21. So with that 21, it's a D6 plus 2. That would be 4 plus 2 is 6 slashing damage to Thor. Yes.
It would have been awesome if the goblin that failed, tried to run at me and went right by and down the chute.
Gosh, you so want to play Dungeon World, don't you? Not that I don't, but still. All right, so the goblin who hits you, who hits Thor, he's still mumbling, and he's like, maybe Clark give me bonus, but probably just beating. I'll try to kill you anyway. Yeah, they don't like Clark. And they don't like you, apparently. Who's up after the goblins?
Clark.
Clark! Humans suck. High elves suck more. So you're pretty much out of it. I mean, at 0, can he do
I'm
anything?
Staggering.
He's
I'm
staggering.
Still
He
on my
just-
foot.
But I thought at 0, if you do something, you fall unconscious.
Yep.
Okay. So Clark sees you're out of it, and he knows he can just move away from you. So he's just going to turn around and go after Ferris
All
because
right.
you can't hurt him. Now you maybe you can, and you fall unconscious when you do. But I'm going with the whole idea of monsters aren't stupid. Clark is deranged, but he's not stupid. You're no longer a threat. He's going after the guy who just burned him.
Little does
Wait,
he
at 0,
know.
you have to make
Yeah.
a death saving throw.
So Clark is going to turn away from Sir Walter and charge the 10 feet over to where Ferris is. Does that open up anything for Sir Walter?
No, he's actually unconscious right now. He's unconscious
zero?
but stable.
Okay. So,
Yeah,
because of
he has
that,
to start making rolls
Okay.
at
No.
the next turn.
at
right?
zero,
No, he's at 0 hit points. If he's less than 0 hit
Apparently,
points,
I
he has to.
do have to make one,
Whenever
or
you-
else I fall before my turn.
No. If damage falling unconscious, if damage reduces you to 0 hit points and fails to kill you, you fall unconscious.
Right, but read the next sentence in the next paragraph. Whenever you start your turn with 0 hit points.
Wow. Okay. Yeah.
Okay. But we're not there yet because he's at the bottom of
Right.
the initiative.
Right,
All
you're
right.
just planning ahead.
All right. So anyway, Clark turns away, charges at 10 feet over towards Ferris with his Morningstar held high, saying, "Clark, eat high elf for lunch," and swings it down at you. Gosh, he cannot hit a thing. 3 + 4 is 7.
Hey.
All
Dodge.
right. So Clark clearly isn't that hungry for lunch. Who's after Clark?
Thor. Then
All right, Thor.
All right. I think. Am I close enough to get to Sir Walter Moss?
Yes. You guys were within 10 feet of each other.
Yep. All right.
Now, there is one goblin that is still focused on you. So if you are going to move away from him to get into touch range for him, then we have to treat that attack of opportunity or whatever it may be here. Because he just sliced you with his scimitar. And now if you're turning to walk away, then he's probably going to take an opportunity attack if it is possible. And let's say he hasn't made the decision yet, but if he were to do that, how does it work? Do I get a free basic attack, a free melee attack?
yeah,
a
free attack action.
Okay.
And you have to be touching me to heal?
Well, that's a good. So my prepared spells had to have been declared in theory at the beginning of today.
Whatever.
All right, whatever.
Close enough.
All right, in that case, I'm going to cast. I have 2 healing spells. I have.
Okay.
I could, in theory, have had Cure Wounds, which is a higher level of healing, but you have to be a touch. Instead, I'm going to cast Healing Word, which has a range of 60 feet.
That would work.
Instantaneously effective. I'm going to cast it on Sir Walter. He regains hit points equal to 1d4 plus my spellcasting ability modifier, which is +5. It does not affect undead or constructs, which doesn't matter in this case.
Casting when you're in melee, nothing happens bad, right? It just, you do it. Okay.
Yeah, there's no concentration or anything on this.
Just making
so,
sure.
1d4.
And that
4
Yeah.
plus
Very
5.
nice.
That would
9
be
hit
9.
points, or up to your max.
So Sir Walter regains his consciousness as his turn arrives.
And as my final thing, I remind him that I only have 5 hit points, so get my back, dude.
Oh, this hurts.
This hurts.
I thought about casting
Owie.
it myself.
Owie,
All right.
owie, owie,
So
owie.
on me
Yeah.
You have
is
a wolf and a
I have
goblin.
the wolf and the goblin. The other guy.
Now they have both stopped paying attention to you
Okay.
before the heal happened, so they're not like snapping at you and slicing at you right now. Clark has already turned away. There is a goblin actively trying to kill Thor, and the other goblin and the wolf are probably going after either Ferris or Thor, because you are right now regaining consciousness where you were no threat at all seconds ago.
So if I go over to help Thor, would I? Are they paying attention enough to me that they would take opportunity attacks?
I'm going to say no.
I hate leaving the squishy guy to take attacks, but
He's the only one not getting hit.
yeah,
He's invulnerable, apparently. Yeah.
I guess I will go do that
Okay.
since he has low hit points too. And I'll try to take out his goblin as
Okay.
well.
So that's goblin number 2 that has not been hit yet.
Okay.
All right.
Yep. Fail.
So essentially, you're stepping in right where the other goblin was going in, and you guys get a little tangled up, and you just don't get a good swing in. Ripper has turned to face his attention at Ferris. That's where Clark is. He's following his boss. But now there are 2 goblins and Sir Moss and Thor all pretty much in a little group right there. Who is up? I guess we're at the beginning again.
Up at the top.
Correct. Wolf.
All right, so the wolf Ripper is lunging forward towards Ferris now. That's a 20.
Natural 20.
Yes, it is. So the wolf makes a nice leap at you and bites. So this is 2d4 plus 2. So that's a 3 of 4 plus 2 is 9.
Dead.
Yikes! So you are a 0?
I'm less than 0.
Less than 0. Okay, so you don't have to have a saving throw to not be knocked prone because you're just knocked prone. Okay, so Ripper knocks you down. Right as Clark was just standing there and you were hurting him and what have you. So, as soon as he's done knocking you down and you're not moving, Clark pats him on the head and says, "Good, Ripper." Who's up next, Bree?
Bree.
So Bree hears
She's
all
gonna
of this
get up.
commotion.
Roll a
She's
20
still
so
at
you
the
can
bottom.
be right up there.
Woohoo!
Close.
Halfway.
I'll let you be up there at the beginning of your next turn.
17.
All right. So you're making your way up there as quickly as you can.
Yes.
And at the beginning of your next turn, if there's still anybody right at the opening, you'll be able to do something about it.
Perfect.
All right. Who's up after Bree?
Me.
All right, Ferris.
Death saving throw.
First one
right.
saved.
Save.
All right. So you have 1 successful death saving throw. Who's up
Goblin.
after Ferris? Goblins. All right. So both goblins are with Sir Walter and Thor now. So I'm just going to keep them as number 1 is going to try and hit Sir Walter. A 7 will not hit.
Nope.
Number 2 is going to swing his scimitar at Thor. A 13 does not hit. 9 plus 4 is 13. So both goblins are done.
Clark.
Clark. All right, so Clark is done with the wizard now. He turns around and he sees both of Sir Walter and Thor still there. He's going to go straight at Thor at this point. You're the short guy. He's a big guy. He's just going to, Clark, kill short man.
Short man's not feeling good.
Ooh. It's a 1.
A 1.
It's a 1, natural 1. So Clark, maybe he stumbles over Ferris's body on his way over, and Clark trip. This sucks. Not hit dwarf.
Trip attack.
Who's after Clark?
Thor.
So you got a stumbling Clark with a gaping leg wound in front of you, as well as a goblin.
All right, I still have the goblin on me, so if I move, he gets an attack of opportunity,
Yeah,
which is
'cause
just a surprise attack, basically, on me.
I think it's just a free attack.
Free
right?
attack.
Yeah.
Which,
And I think you can only do it once.
Right, but with my hit points, I can't.
Yeah,
Risk it.
Might not be a good idea.
You can take a dodge action.
But then I can't attack, right?
True. But you can defend. You gain advantage. They all get disadvantage to hit you.
And if I dodge, I can't attack or cast a spell. It's just you're basically dodging and then you're defensive for.
Yep. Full defensive.
Okay.
I'm trying to find something to cure you that doesn't require me. I've already used my healing word, so I can't do that. And I think I have to be in touch for cure wounds.
So the big wolf hasn't been hit yet. One of the goblins
Right.
has not been hit yet. However, one of the goblins is definitely worse for wear, and Clark is limping heavily on his leg.
Right. All right. I am going. So, are you alive?
I'm good.
You're alive, right?
Are you alive?
And
Yeah,
you're
you
up
had
now,
9.
and I'm up, and you're unconscious.
Yeah, you might have a feeling of inspiration as you just resurrected
Exactly.
Sir Walter
I
Moss.
do feel
right?
good, and I am actually going to raise my hand up and use Sacred Flame on Clark
Okay.
in the hopes that if we defeat Clark, perhaps the other enemies will flee or be disheartened.
Could be.
And Sacred Flame cast down Radiant Light unless he succeeds on a Dex check, I believe.
Yes. I rolled a 19.
Still half
That's-
damage.
Yeah.
What's that?
Still half damage, right?
And he has a plus...
No, if he succeeds on the saving throw.
He has a +2, so a
If he
total
doesn't,
of
then he takes
21.
1d8.
Okay.
And so that would be against my DC to resist spell, right?
Yep.
Yeah, you're good.
Yeah, 21. Yeah. That's the first saving throw I've made from the monster side.
I'm having a tough time over here. Except for resurrecting Sir Walter Moss, I
Yeah.
am not having a lot of luck.
But does he still take damage?
No, I think if he succeeds, he's out, and if he doesn't succeed,
Okay.
then he takes damage.
Okay. So he's able to dodge it as it's coming through.
Dang.
Dang, indeed.
I guess I'm up. So
Sir Moss.
I think if I don't provoke anyone by attacking Clarg, I would like to try to finish Clarg off.
Clarg is now in the same area you are. So it is now 5 things there. 2 goblins, Thor, Moss, and Clarg, all in the same group of stuff.
All right. So I'm going to hack up with my nice great axe and
Okay.
try
family
to
heirloom?
Family heirloom.
Family heirloom. Really, his dad didn't like
Well,
it very much.
that might be okay. 16 to hit.
16 hits.
Wow.
Yes, Sir Walter.
Under your headphone there.
And under my headphone,
Let's get
we
some
got-
bugbear guts.
And,
That's 10 damage.
okay, so you hack up at Clarg is what I heard.
Yep.
And you come up right under his chin and pretty much cut his jaw off, and he just flops back onto the ground. And as he does, the 2 goblins there just kind of stop. Like, what now? We still kill you?
Woof.
I yell, drop your weapons.
All right, and then up next is Ripper. Ripper is kind of in a frenzy, and he's over with Ferris's body. Nothing happening there, so he turns around and picks one of you 2 guys. Let's see, you'll be even. All right, so he's going
I
after
am
Moss. So Ripper lunges forward towards Sir Walter, and he's going to hit. 18 plus 4 is 22.
Yep.
And
That's a lot of damage.
1 and 4 plus 2 is 7.
All right. I'm still up.
Yes, I rolled. If I didn't roll the 1, that would have been real close.
It would have been real close.
What's your
All right.
status?
Now,
I got 2 hit points.
now roll a
Strength check.
strength saving throw. So the wolf pounces at you, and you have to beat 11. Or get
16.
11 or higher. Okay, so he doesn't manage to knock you over, but he just smacks right into you, bites at you, and
I'm very
now he's
solid.
just- yes, apparently. All right, who's up after Ripper?
Top of the round, sir.
So, Bree's at the top. She kind of looks
Yeah.
around,
You reach right at the top is Ferris's body,
assesses the situation. She sees a
laying there.
wizard,
Everybody else is a
down.
little bit of a distance away, about 10 feet away from the fissure.
and I
You
see
can't
a
reach
wolf.
them to hit them with
Yeah.
a weapon, a handheld weapon, no melee, but you might be able to get a shot off at them.
I see a wolf attacking Sir Walter.
Yep, just bounced off him to the ground, but got a good chunk out of his arm maybe on the way down.
And there's goblins.
2 more goblins, although they're kind of like, what now?
Are they
and
lined up?
Clarg, you see this big bugbear just laying on the ground, bleeding profusely from the leg and the head.
Maybe you could jump on the wolf and
Some-
ride it like a rodeo clown.
Or not? Are the
Shoot
goblins
wolf because
lined
you have
up?
Advantage.
Pardon?
You have advantage on the wolf.
Exactly. So I've got a good bee on the wolf, correct? So I take aim with my short bow.
Okay.
She's at the top. She kind of like does a little roll over Ferris and tries to get a line on the wolf, which she does very well. 21 to hit.
21 will hit.
And she's got sneak attack damage on this, correct?
Go for it. Why not?
So that's what? 3, 6, 7.
7, okay. So the arrow just hits the wolf in the back, and it yells out, that little yelp. Kind of, the wolf just got hit by an arrow.
Mama's
And
got a new fur coat.
mangy fur coat. I take it Ferris is up next? All right, go for it.
Before then, I apologize for this. When I healed Sir Walter before,
Yeah.
I forgot that I am a disciple of life domain, so I he should have 2 more hit points than I had told him. Is
Okay.
that okay to?
Yeah, go for it.
Because I took you to 9, and you got 3 more, but that would put you over your max.
Yeah.
So you can add 2, I think.
All right.
Did you
Sorry
just
about that.
fail again? No.
Dun, dun, dun.
One success, one failure. They don't cancel each other out, no? All right.
Get 3 in one or 3 in the other first, and
Is that me?
Who's after Ferris?
goblins.
Okay,
You might
so
want to think about making your way over to him.
the goblins are going to use the disengage action and start backing up towards those stairway. I had mentioned that we're over on the north side of the room. So
Did they
they're just
disarm
kinda
themselves?
Slowly backing up. No, they're just. I mean, you guys have been trying to kill them. They've been trying to kill you. They're not laying down arms. They're just backing away.
Okay.
Who's up after the goblins? They're going to move right up to the top of the stairs. It's almost,
Clark can make his
It's
test
about
saving
20
throw.
feet away. Oh, he's done.
He's missing it.
Yeah. Oh, let's
jaw.
see. A 4. He
Nope.
failed. He only gets 1 shot. So
All right.
Thor's next.
So you have 2 more rolls that you could potentially fail, right?
Mm-hmm.
All right. So on this turn, before I save my illustrious friend, I'm going to use a cantrip. I don't know if I'm pronouncing it correctly, but is it thaumaturgy?
Sounds good to me.
Which allows me to do a relatively minor physical action of my choosing for a turn, including making the ground shake in a harmless but powerful tremor for up to 1 minute.
Huh.
So I'm going to raise my hands to the dwarven god MD, which is what I'm going to call him from now on.
MD, the Dwarven God Doctor.
Great, powerful
It's
MD.
not lupus.
It is time to smite our final enemies down. Let them run in fear and shake the earth before me. At which time, in theory, my illustrious god MD will cause the ground to shake. And my hope is that the goblins will tremble in fear at his power.
And hopefully it won't cause a cave in.
It is a harmless tremor
It
by
says
definition.
harmless, right? Yeah. So the tremor itself doesn't cave in, but the cave does. No. So was he next?
Mhm.
And then,
And me.
yeah, all right. So, when the ground starts shaking, the goblins they were backing up slowly, made their way to the stairs, and the ground starts shaking, and they turn away. And as they turn, it looks like they're starting to run, and you hear one of them shout, "Ah, get the others!"
Thanks, man.
We must go get help.
This is Thor's day.
Go ahead, Sir Walter.
I will try to hack down on the wolf's head.
Okay.
I forgot about the wolf.
20.
So the wolf is kind of shaking on the ground and loses its head.
Nice.
We'll just. There's no way you're
Chalk
doing.
it up, dude. Chalk
There's
it
no
up.
way you're doing less than 4 damage, right?
Thanks for finishing that kill
no
for
way.
me.
No way.
The wolf has 4 hit points left. There's no way you're doing less than 4. Therefore, you're going to finish it off. And when you do that, the satisfying thud of the axe into the wolf, the goblins hear it, and off they go. They just take off down the stairs.
Dibs on the pelt.
So let's do
So are
a
they
little
running
bit
to get their
of.
friends, or are they just gone?
So what's
If-
that?
Are they running to get their friends, or are they just
Yeah,
gone?
if
Or do we
they're-
not know?
They're heading out, but right now that's going to be the end of the initiative, the end of the combat. Let me read you a little bit of what's in the room, because it's all been. This is a bigger room than the little spot you guys have been fighting in. So the room itself, I'll read the narrative here, but the sacks and crates of looted provisions are piled up in the south end of the large cave. To the west, the floor slopes toward a natural opening that descends into darkness. That's actually the fissure itself. A larger opening leads north down a set of natural stone steps. That's where the goblins just ran. And the roar of falling water echoes from beyond where the steps are. So if you go look where the goblins went, you hear a waterfall essentially down there. And then in the middle of the cavern, so this room itself is about 45 feet or so wide, east to west. It's got a lot of cracks, crevices, crannies, nooks and crannies. It's an English muffin, apparently. And about 35 feet north to south at its biggest point. So towards the center of that, which would be about 20 maybe or so feet off from where you guys have been fighting, there's a fire pit with some slightly smoky coals in the fire pit. Not bright enough to cause light, but while you're in there, you can see a little bit of smoke coming up. And that is what you see in the room.
All right. If we are off initiative order, unless someone tells me otherwise, I would like to cure and stabilize our illustrious wizard.
I think that's probably a good idea.
I'm running out of spells. All I've left is cure wounds and bless, but I will
Well,
cure
no,
wounds.
just stabilize me, and then I just roll my hit dice.
Oh, you rolled
Yeah. I gotta
for
do the
short
stabilize
rest?
me.
Do we think we have a short rest?
Oh, wait, we don't have a short rest.
We don't know that we have an hour. I mean, we could take a chance.
While you do that with
No, I can't
him,
do it, yeah.
I'm going to kind of scout the room to see if we can figure out if
And
I
we-
can find anything in there to help fortify our location.
Are you at 0 hit points even?
I'm at -1.
-1.
So-
Does someone want to make a medicine check to stabilize him and get him to 0, and then I'll
You.
cure him?
What?
I could give it a try.
You get a medicine check.
So
Yeah, that's true.
let's get Ferris up and about.
Right.
And then what I'm going to do, because of how this is supposed to play out, I'm going to narrate a bit of some more exploration, and we'll get to a point to where we can do some more stuff.
Okay.
Go ahead and get...
Well, and we definitely want
up
to
and
search
about.
the room and those provisions and all that stuff, but...
Okay.
all right, can I... So if initiative doesn't matter, I've got a good medicine, so I'll roll to, if it's okay, to try to stabilize him.
Oh yeah, definitely.
And fail miserably, I think.
I guess I'll give it a try.
You don't know medicine. You
20.
only know magic, apparently.
So he is super stable.
And now
All
I will...
Well, last time he tried to rub some dirt in the wound. This time he tried to spit in it.
He's like, get up and walk it off. He's unconscious. I said, get up and walk it off.
All right, so is this 8? No, that's... 1, 2, 3, 4. Yeah. I'm going to use my cure wounds. A creature I touch regains a number of hit points equal to 1d8 plus my spellcasting modifier, which is 5,
Plus your Disciple of Life.
plus my Disciple of Life extra hit points.
There you go.
So
Please,
I can't
a
not
good
go to
roll.
max hit points. You roll a 1, I go to max hit points.
All right.
1, 6. Yeah, you're right.
Outstanding.
1, 6 plus 3.
There you
Oh,
go.
are you 9? 8. Yeah, you're
8.
there.
Yeah.
Oh, and I rolled a 6 when it doesn't matter.
The extra hit point should go
All
to
right.
somebody, right?
I could
Exactly.
use them. I'm sitting on a 4.
All right, so Cure Wounds is gone. I'm going to need a long rest soon.
All right, so with that, everybody being up and about, the goblins don't come back immediately, so you have a few minutes at least to look around. What is probably hijacked the goods that are laying around. It looks like they would be worth some money if they were returned to Phandalin. Probably some other caravans had been ambushed and the goods have been captured. So if you guys were able to get those back, you could probably get some money for that.
Cool.
But
Can we
in
carry
addition,
those, you think?
It is they're too bulky to just carry. You would need a wagon to transport them, which means you could probably get them to the wagon and then take the rest of the time there. Clarg has a treasure chest that somebody might want to write this down. It contains 600 copper pieces, which I think is like 1/10 of a gold or something like that, right? But 600 copper, 110 silver, 2 potions of healing, and a jade statuette of a frog with tiny golden orbs for eyes. It's small enough to fit in a pocket or pouch. A jade statuette of a frog with tiny golden orbs for eyes.
Since I killed Clark, and
And I like frogs.
I like frogs, and I don't know what this is. The value of this is. Can I just slip that in my pocket?
Is there an appraise skill? Does anyone have that?
Yeah,
There is
it's,
no
it's
appraise.
right up here under the auction skill.
If there, if there isn't an appraise skill, right? There isn't. Then what do we use for that? I'm guessing it would just be intelligence.
Sleight
It's
of hand.
something that's not. It's something that's not listed.
You get to choose an intelligence.
Yeah.
So
what
Bree,
else?
Bree kind of sees this,
Arcana.
and she like walks up
Maybe
behind him
history?
and uses like her sleight of hand to pick his pocket and take the jade.
Anything
frog
with
from
gold
him.
eyes is going to be worth something.
Exactly.
Could
That's
be.
why she like tries to pick his pocket and take it from him.
Can there be like a roll for that?
Oh yeah, there'll be a roll.
Yeah,
for
there
it.
is.
That
She's
would
got
be
sleight. That's the
sleight of
dexterity.
hand versus passive perception.
Be a 13.
That would be 20.
There you
Yep,
go.
20 definitely. Does.
So you haven't learned to keep an eye on her yet. So you don't get an active roll against it.
She's little. She comes out of nowhere.
She just speaks up.
So before you put it in your pocket, you guess, just because there's no roll or anything for it, you guess it's probably worth about 40 gold.
Yeah, I just liked that it was little jade statue of a frog, but
It's Kermit with golden eyes.
Is it worth taking a look at the provisions or the to see if there's anything that we might use, or are we just going to take it back?
You could probably chug one of those healing potions.
I probably should, if no one minds.
So
Yeah.
it's when you're looking through them that you see Clark's treasure chest, but it's just, I mean, it is specifically listed as, or vaguely listed as, piles of sacks and crates, most marked with the image of a blue lion, which is the symbol of Lion Shield Coster, a merchant within
294
Phandalin.
plus 2.
So now we know where we want to take
Yeah.
those.
All right. And there's really nothing about what's in it. It could be dried goods. It could be
One.
rope. It could be 15-foot chains.
Two.
But it belongs
3
to
plus
someone
2
we
is
can go see
5.
at Phandalin.
It's nothing that
That
is
puts me back
valuable
up
to
to
you,
9.
but would be valuable to somebody going into a store maybe looking for something.
I don't know if we should have let him have that potion
All right,
after he
so-
tried to gank that frog off of us.
So I took the
took
one
the
of the
healing potion.
potions.
I
We
know,
have
we're trying
one
to take
you
the
potion.
frog,
already
now he's trying to
scoffed
take
the
our
potion.
It was
too.
suggested by
It
my
was?
fellow
Okay.
group member. So we still have one potion of healing, but my hit points are back up to 9,
All
which
right,
is
so
pretty
your-
good.
Your light lasts for an hour, right?
You could take the other one.
Well, we could try to rest for an hour. There are
But
still
you-
goblins around.
Your light spell lasts for an hour.
Oh, my light spell lasts for 1 hour.
Okay. So
But
what
it's a
we're,
cantrip. I can cast it anytime I want.
right. But what we'll do to expedite this point, so where we can get to where not so everyone who's yawning can actually go sleep, and your eyes might open a little bit more. But essentially, you realize while you've done all this searching, there's no more sound of goblins. All you hear is the waterfall, and they're probably alone in the cave. A quick look out down the stairway, you see there's no other goblins around. It's just the back of a waterfall. There's a stream going through, and you wander along as a group. I'm going to say you wander along through a little bit of a complex. There are about 8 rooms in total, and one room down at the end of a walkway, and it does look like goblins just bugged out. There are like they didn't leave their swords and shields on the ground, but there are no traces of the goblins now, no noises. And you get down to a room down at the far west end, and this cave is divided in half by a 10-foot high outcropping. The steep natural staircase leads from a lower portion to the upper ledge, and the hair is hazy with the smoke of a cooking fire and pungent from the smell of poorly cured hides and unwashed goblins. But the goblins have now vacated, but it still smells kind of nasty.
Gross.
Yeah. In the corner, there is a human warrior who you recognize as Sildar Hallwinter, one that was abducted with Rockseeker.
Gundren.
Yes. He is securely bound on the southern ledge up off to the side, and he looks like he is really out of it.
So he looks like they
Looks like he's been beaten and tortured.
and all the goblins. There's no goblins
Correct.
in sight.
Right.
So I think we would go and examine him, make sure he's okay.
Okay.
Possibly give him a healing
Like-
potion.
Yeah,
well,
get him
at
a
least
healing potion.
stabilize him.
Well,
Stabilize
magical
him.
healing potion will actually get him up and around.
Yeah.
Well, he is in game mechanics. He's at 1 hit point. He doesn't need to be stabilized.
Yeah,
Okay.
But he is delusional, practically. He's just mumbling to himself, like, don't trust the goblins.
yeah, and that would cure that. So
So we go up to him and make sure, untie him, obviously.
Okay. He attacks!
No.
We give him
Smacks him.
Just
I really
waiting
think
to
we
be
should
untied.
I agree. We're good. We're gonna rest and
Do we
heal.
have an extra
We have
healing
one more
we have
potion.
one potion. Give it to
Do
him.
you need it? Or I think maybe you
I think
should
we're
take
gonna.
it.
I mean, I have a feeling that if the goblins have totally cleared out, we're gonna get to town and rest and.
I'm just worried that if we exit the cave and all the goblins are standing out front,
Yeah.
we might have another battle. And
Is
we
there-
give a potion to an NPC.
You're metagaming.
You're metagaming.
What would your character do?
Yeah, what would Sir Walter Moss
What would
do?
Sir Walter, the hero of Volcano Town, do?
Yeah.
I mean-
I'll save wolves, but this human, screw it.
I mean, he isn't negative. So he is like, so I would just carry him out.
He's broken in the head.
You throw him over your shoulders.
Yeah, I'll throw him over my shoulder.
Yeah.
Is there anything? All right, so we've been pretty beat up. We found this guy. There are no goblins in sight. Is there anything in sight that we could set up, maybe a fortified camp or something that if we were attacked, we could get some sort of warning or at least some defense from?
So what I'm hearing is you'll be a hero as long as it doesn't affect you monetarily.
Exactly.
That sounds like Sir Walter.
He's trying to gain money to get back his noble status with his family, right?
Yeah.
That's part of it.
And I don't know if the health potion is going to fix his head.
Your definition of hero is sorely lacking.
Can we fortify
no.
our position? Or are we kind of stuck here?
You're in the goblin area. I mean, by their own works and the cave design, I mean, it's already defensible. You can put your backs to the wall and fight outwards if you want. You can go to the entrance and, just stand there so nobody gets in.
Boy, what do you guys think? I want to get to a place where we can rest and take care of this guy, take care of our wounds, and
I would
not
much
get
rather
attacked.
not stay in here. It stinks in here.
It does stink, but there's no place in here that doesn't, really. You can
So
go
you
out
wanna
by the
try to get
stream
out?
where the water and the air current's moving and it's not as bad, but there's no nice place inside.
Let's say get back to the caravan, start making our way to town.
It's a long ways.
How are you? What's your status on health?
I'm 6. I'm groovy, but
I think. While it would be nice to rest and regain some hit points here, I think we should try to get to the wagon.
okay.
If there's a fight,
The wagon's
there's a
only a
fight.
20-minute walk.
Yeah. There's
It's
a
only
fight,
20
there's a fight.
minutes away?
And this
Okay.
guy's already been dragged here once, so
But having
being
said
dragged
that,
back,
I'm going in the back of the line this time since I'm at 5 hit points, and you should
I
probably
read
be
in a
back
book
with me.
once
Now,
that
your
you can
strength
get
is
2
pretty good.
sticks and drape a travois and create a travois.
Oh yeah? Okay.
We should create a travois for him.
Travois, that's a very
I was just going to carry him.
eloquent phrasing.
It's
Must be
polysyllabic.
polysyllabic in intelligence.
he was going to call it a
Erudite.
sling.
All right. I didn't realize that we were that close. So 20 minutes out? Yeah, let's go back to the wagons.
Yeah, approximately. It says it was 5
Right.
miles, but it also says you stop 10 minutes twice. That's 20 minutes. So.
That's what I heard.
So there's
too.
either goblins waiting for us outside the cave, and we're gonna have a big battle, or
Okay.
we're gonna be at our wagon and.
So you head out to the wagon.
Now,
You make it there.
before we go,
we see the
there
sign
there
right
is
for the pit
are
shop?
those boxes of supplies
Yeah.
too.
Yeah.
And you said that we could probably get them to the wagon.
It'll take a few minutes longer because there's a bunch of stuff. You can't
Put it on
bring
the
them
travois.
all the way.
You have a dude on your shoulders.
Yeah.
I'll get some supplies.
I mean, I
I'm
know
a
you're
dwarf.
strong, so
Okay.
I will
I'm gonna
supervise.
put you on my shoulders.
I will
and take some
supervise.
provisions.
I will supervise the
I'll
whole
use ritual
thing.
casting
So-
and create Tensor's floating disc.
There you go.
So you guys make it back to the wagon
With the provisions.
with the provisions and with Sildar Hallwinter. And are you going to take a rest there? Is that what you were doing?
I think we should probably
Just go to
continue on to
Phalistan.
Phalistan. And because we'll be safer there, but we can put the supplies in a way that sort of protect him or make a soft area for him to lay.
So it's going to
And a
take
soft area for me to lay too.
it's going to take a while. which is going to let me read you guys some stuff and finish up the first part of the adventure.
Okay.
Okay. So in finding Sildar and him actually being able to rest and get better, because, well, you guys didn't want to help him. But insofar as you left him on his own, he's able to take his own short rest, right? So there's some useful information. It also says to read the first 2 paragraphs of the background section to you at this time.
We helped him by getting him out of the goblin cave.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah, but...
I mean, seriously.
If you want to get technical, God.
Just didn't use
Save
one
a
of
guy
our
from
rare
goblins.
healing potions on him.
I'm also just trying to talk while you look for what you need
That
to
works. So he tells you that there are the 3 Rockseeker brothers, Gundren, Tharden, and Nundro, recently located an entrance to the long-lost Wave Echo Cave. And that's the site of the mines of the Phandelver's Pack. And
Well,
what that means is I read you these 2 paragraphs, so bear with me while I do. So he goes on this little, while you're writing, after a couple hours he's feeling better, he meets you and he wants to tell you what's going on, what happened to him and why you guys are now involved in this. So more than 500 years ago, clans of dwarves and gnomes made an agreement known as the Phandelver's Pact, by which they would share a rich mine in a wondrous cavern known as Wave Echo Cave. In addition to its mineral wealth, the mine contained great magical power. Human spellcasters allied themselves with the dwarves and gnomes to channel and bind that energy into a great forge called the Forge of Spells, where magic items could be crafted. Times were good, and the nearby human town of Phandalin prospered as well. But then disaster struck when orcs swept through the north and laid waste to all in their path. A powerful force of orcs, reinforced by evil mercenary wizards, attacked Wave Echo Cave to seize its riches and magic treasures. Human wizards fought alongside their dwarf and gnome allies to defend the Forge of Spells, and the ensuing spell battle destroyed much of the cavern. Few survived the cave-ins and tremors, and the location of Wave Echo Cave was lost. So he tells you that the 3 Rockseeker brothers believe now that they have located the entrance to that cave, the long-lost Wave Echo Cave.
Although, speaking of the Rockseeker brothers, where's Gundrum that got taken when he did?
Yep, and that's part of it. So Clarg, the bugbear, who was the leader of the goblin band, had orders to waylay Gundren. Sildar tells you he heard from the goblins that the Black Spider, uppercase B, uppercase S, the Black Spider,
Proper name.
sent word that the dwarf was to be brought to him. Sildar doesn't know who or what the Black Spider is.
Guessing a black spider.
And Gundren showed Sildar a map. It was the map that he said had the secret location of Wave Echo Cave, but the goblins took it when they captured him. Sildar believes that Clark sent the map and the dwarf to the chief of the Cragmaws at a place called Cragmaw Castle. So, and Sildar tells you, I don't know where it is, but someone in Phandalin might know. And Sildar also tells you along the ride, he is a human. He has a contact in Phandalin, a human wizard named Iarno Albrecht, which I think is part of somebody's backstory on their character sheet. I think that may have been JJ's. Iarno Albrecht.
Yep.
The wizard traveled to the town 2 months ago to establish order in Phandalin, but they have not received word from him, so Sildar decided to investigate. That's why he was going along with the Rockseeker, Gundren Rockseeker. So he wanted to continue to Phandalin anyway, so he was grateful that he came to consciousness upon the wagon that was headed that way with you guys in it. And he says as long as you can keep him safe for the trip and he's able to recover some, he'll offer you 50 gold pieces to keep him safe for the rest of the trip.
So at this point, we're looking at our original 10 gold each for delivering the wagon. We have these provisions that are going to the Lionheart, whatever that company was.
Yeah.
We have Sildar, and we have a lead on Gundren and the map at Cragmore Castle.
We've done pretty well.
It's a pretty good night so far.
Yeah. So at this point, we are officially done with phase 1, step 1. What do they call this? Part 1. We're officially done with part 1. And what that means to us at this point is you have explored the Cragmore hideout and defeated Clark. You completed a story milestone. Yay!
Milestone!
Award each character 275 experience. This should provide enough for the character to attain second level.
That's 275 plus the 75 you already gave us.
So
We
that's
need-
350.
More.
That is 350.
I needed 300. For,
300.
Are we all 300 for level 2?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think it's the
350.
same for every class now.
300
So the
for
level
all.
advancement rules are on the sheet. So make sure you record your experience total on the sheet. Now, for me, in the next part of the adventure, I do experience differently, but this is the last time we do the lump sum at the end of a session. And we will be going to Phandalin, like I said, and what that is, it is how much farther? I want to say I read somewhere that I don't see right now. It's 3 days more of travel. They will be uneventful, but 3 days more will pass before you get there. What that means, again, for game
More
mechanic
witty
terms,
banter
you're
and getting
gonna
to
have
know
all
each
your
other.
spells, your hit points, everything will be back by the time you get there. And the next time we play, we will pick up by starting on part 2, which is Phandalin of the adventure.
So,
So-
we need to look at our leveling up rules,
Yeah.
what we get, figure that out before next
Exactly.
game.
Take
No,
a look at
it's
what
like
your
right there.
character does
Well,
at
right.
second level. But it's good to know what it is.
Right.
Right.
What I find tricky, I think it's generally great what they do, but they have added everything in the starter set onto your sheet without showing you the calculation,
Yeah.
which can be a
Yeah.
little bit tricky
Yes.
if you're wanting to understand the
Especially
calculation.
when you want to know
Right,
it.
so like I'm trying to figure out, if I have 5 prepared spells, does that include bless and cure wounds, which they said are all you always have? So I have to
Right.
go and figure that out.
Yeah. Does anyone see something coming up on level 2 that's a big benefit, a new
I-
thing?
I get Action Surge, which is essentially I get an action point
Yeah.
that I can use to do a additional action on top of the regular action. And then it refreshes whenever we take a short or long rest.
Cool.
So that's cool. And then I also gained 1d10 plus 2 hit points, which I rolled well on that. So I gained 11, putting me at 23 hit points, almost doubling my hit points.
I like
Oh, do we need to roll our hit points now?
If you want to do the level 2 thing now,
Can
go
we
ahead
roll
and
those
do
in
it.
private later? You know what I get next? I get a few things, but the one you're going to like is I get Preserve Life, which I can use to choose one or more creatures within 30 feet of me to heal and distribute up to 10 hit points among them.
That's going to be nice.
I can only take them up to half of their hit point max, but that's nice because if 2 guys are down and need to be
Yeah.
stabilized or low,
Yeah.
I can hit multiple people.
Or gals.
I know this time you had that one healing spell where it pushed him up to his top, and then he still had like 5
Yeah.
or 6
It would be
more.
nice if they pushed that into temporary hit points or something, right? That would be cool because
There's
that was in the middle
There's
of
a
the fight.
space for temporary hit
Yeah, I
points,
Yeah.
but there's nothing in here for temporary hit points.
There's
Maybe
got
in
to
the-
be something,
book,
maybe
in the rule
eventually.
book?
right? Yeah, that's a big spot.
Right, so we're rolling our hit points now.
You're welcome
Yep.
to do it.
Make sure you
The way
heal-
I'm rolling
it-
tonight, I don't
Let
feel
me,
like...
let me tell you one thing that I like to do, and it's not in the book, but I'm going to stick with it. Whatever the number above half is, you get that or whatever you roll, whatever's higher. So if you're doing a 1d10, it's 5 or higher. So if you roll above 5, you get
So
that.
it's like, let's make a deal. You can either take
Oh, I
half.
have to choose?
You either
no,
take
no,
half.
you're
no,
going
you
to get at
automatically
least
do-
5, but
okay.
if you roll higher, you get what you
So
roll.
you,
I
so
thought
if
it
I have
was
a
like
1d8
the-
plus
So
3, you're
yours
saying I
is
get
D8,
5
so
plus
it's
3?
a 4 plus.
4 plus 3. All right.
Well, he
8!
rolls
You're rolling
very
8.
nice.
There you go.
Get
Plus
a
3,
crit.
so I
You
get
get
11.
11 more hit
Can we
points.
Plus
take
I
that
get an
roll
extra one for
twice?
Dwarven
You got
Resiliency,
crit points.
Oh,
which gives me 1 extra every time I gain a level.
There you go.
So that's 12 hit points.
Nice.
That puts you at 23.
Heck yes.
Is that
baby.
more than you had to begin with?
I had 11 and I just gained 12.
So you need to level up. That's great.
Just so you guys know,
And it puts him up tied with me
23.
now.
Nice.
Your
With an 18
rogue-
AC. That's
your
nice. Like a
rogue-
little cleric.
Nice.
Did you
Your
roll
rogue
6?
just got an extra action on my turn.
Really?
Oh,
Yeah.
that second level rogue is awesome.
Yeah.
That is an awesome.
Get a bonus action
bonus.
on each of my turns. Can be used to take a dash, disengage, or hide.
Oh, you can keep sneak attacking.
Well,
That
the
can do
hide
s-
is exactly
sneak
right. You get
attack.
sneak attack every turn.
Sneak attack every turn.
In this final session of Part 1, our adventurers defeated Klarg and found a new ally in Sildar. We finished Part 1 with the party learning new information from Sildar while on the road to Phandalin. Thanks for joining us. The preceding podcast was brought to you by Shedcast. You can find us online at adventuresfromtheshed.com.